on the Daily Debrief.
My fault. I should have protected her. Should have let her.
Excuses and inconsistent stories from a babysitter on trial for allegedly battering a 3-year-old girl to death. We take you inside the police interrogation room to hear the crazy details. Plus, updates in the murder trial against a Colorado man accused of battering his fiancée and burning her body. Also, still more legal trouble for an actor accused of staging a hate crime against himself. The nation's most fascinating criminal cases are on the Daily Debrief. It's Friday, April 5th. Good evening, everybody. I'm Rachel Stockman in for Aaron, and I have a great panel of guests this evening, so let's begin. Actor Jussie Smollett's legal troubles were seemingly over until the city of Chicago came asking for payback. Literally. What's next for Smollett? Here's the story. Jussie Smollett says he won't pay up. The city of Chicago says he owes $130,000, and now they're taking legal action. Thursday night, the Chicago Department of Law released a statement that the city intends on filing a civil complaint against Smollett for making a false statement to the city. Mark Aragos, one of Smollett's lawyers, responded with a 3-page letter of his own. It said Smollett won't be, quote, intimidated into paying the demanded sum. He also writes that because the charges were dropped, there is no basis for proving that Smollett made false statements. The letter also accuses the city of acting in bad faith. When the Cook County State Attorney's Office dropped charges against Jussie Smollett for allegedly staging a hoax hate crime on himself, it sparked a nationwide controversy.
The police found probable cause. 23 grand jurors in Cook County found probable cause. The case was indicted, and he was given a kiss and get out of jail free card.
It also drove a wedge between the city's mayor and police chief on one side and Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx on the other.
This is a whitewash of justice.
Foxx has defended her office's action as a common approach to low-level felonies. All right, another round of explosive interrogation video in court shows an Ohio babysitter's own account of what happened when a young girl died in her care. Lindsay Partin is charged with murder, involuntary manslaughter, and 3 counts of endangering a child. The victim, Hannah Weshy, was just 3 years old when she died. Partin was babysitting her when the young girl reportedly dumped ketchup in a toilet, which could be considered, quote, typical child behavior, according to the prosecutor. However, Partin allegedly decided to lash out, and according to the Butler County Sheriff's Office, she admits to hitting the child. Now, we're going to listen to the defendant's 911 call. She can be heard describing Hannah's condition during her last conscious moments.
I babysit kids. She just dropped her off, and all of a sudden she just passed out. The little girl was 3. She felt pretty bad yesterday, and she was fine. And all of a sudden she got out this morning and she walked in and she kind of passed out. She might rip.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you with her now?
Yeah, I'm with her now. Yeah, it's her. She's bad. Something's wrong.
Okay. Is she awake right now?
Yeah.
No, don't have with me. I have to ask you 2 questions while my partner gets the dispatch. Okay, is she breathing?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. I don't know what's wrong.
The babysitter's second interview with detectives was played in court today. She describes a fall Hannah had, which she says caused bruising on Hannah's chin, neck, and chest.
Yep. Exactly where she fell and on her chin. She didn't even, her hand didn't even hit. Like what she was doing, and I can show you how she was running like this, and then looked back and went like that. Literally.
Did she slide? Or?
No, it was just bam, bam. Yeah. She got right back up and kept running. I said, "Hey, are you okay? I'm okay."
So all these small little bruises and the ones on the chin.
Yes, I know about those right there.
And even the one on the
yes, and the one on the chin. Yep.
And the neck.
Yep. Yep.
That's all that from that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw
I mean,
the neck. It was, yes.
Up under her chin like that. So
well,
she would have been extended pretty far.
She went like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And on the toilet Wednesday, I noticed that I was like, wow, maybe those rocks got you. And I even told him that. I said, the rocks looked like they punctured her chest.
Yeah.
Partin described in more detail the fall Hannah had involving a cart. It's a slightly different story, though, that compared to her other interrogation tape. She gave more information and physically demonstrates the alleged incident.
But I feel like, because the way when she looked up at me and said, "Buddy, can I have donut and couch?" and went to take her jacket off, and she fell on that side, the other side, and there was like a pink cart laying there, and I think she scraped her face on that, but I'm not sure.
When she fell unconscious?
Yes, when she collapsed in front of me, yes.
Okay.
Yes, but
She wasn't on top of anything. She was walking.
well, so what happened? So say this is the door.
Yeah.
She walks right here. There was like, you know, one of those push carts that you can like serve things off of? It's like a
Serving
cart.
cart.
Yeah. And she fell like that, and there was a wheel. I think she hit that.
Okay.
But I don't
She
know
wasn't
that.
on top of anything. She wasn't climbing or nothing. She was
Yeah, she literally just collapsed in front of me.
Okay.
So after she fell face first, correct?
Oh, the choo-choo train?
No, Thursday when she went unconscious.
Yes.
How did you move her and into what position did you move her
I
into?
really wasn't sure what was happening, so I kind of picked her up, and I was like, "Hannah, are you okay?" And I probably did the wrong thing because I wasn't sure what was happening. And "Are you okay? What's wrong? What's wrong? Wake up! Like, what's going on with you?"
So you down?
I bent down, yeah, and I'm like, well, first I said, "Hannah, are you okay? Get up." I thought maybe she'd like tripped over her pants or something, because sometimes she'll try to like take off her shoes while she's standing up.
Yeah.
And she didn't get up, and I'm like, "Are you okay? What's up?" And she was like not saying anything to me. And so I picked her up, and I'm like, "Hannah," I probably shook her, like, "Are you okay?" And I shouldn't have done that, I don't know.
What do you know?
I don't know if I shook her, I just was like, "Hey," I was holding her, like, "Hannah, are you okay?" And then so I laid her down, and that's when I called Jason.
All right, as the interrogation continues, detectives continue to pull answers from Partin. And if you're confused, you're probably not alone. Partin seems to let details of what actually happened slip through one at a time, and then tries to blame Hannah's injuries on a seizure.
What caused that?
What accident caused this?
She fell on the door and hit the concrete step.
When?
Thursday morning.
Walking into the house?
Yes.
Tell us about it. Take us through it.
Details.
So when I opened up the door, she was coming through and she slipped on that concrete step and the metal part. She hit the metal part on her eye. And so I got her back up and she stood up and looked up at me and did say, "I want donut and couch," and then collapsed.
We appreciate you being honest. I mean, you know, it's an accident.
You called for help.
This is my fault. I should have protected her.
It's not
Should have let her fall. I should have been holding her.
It's not your fault. What's the difference in this injury
Because
and the one you were there for both of
I know,
them?
'cause
If you
I
thought this one put her in the hospital,
I didn't.
why
I
were you
thought
hiding the
Wednesday.
fact
I
that-
didn't. I thought Wednesday did because she's not.
You own this
Still,
one.
you're under
You
your-
own this one. You said this one happened when you were watching her. Okay? You
Why
called for
lie?
help. Why lie about this one? About her falling?
Because I thought it was, because I thought it was my fault, and I thought she was having a seizure, and I didn't want Jason to be mad at me, that she slipped and fell and I wasn't holding her, and I was trying to grab her blanket from her,
Here's the thing.
and I thought it was my fault that she
Here's
was
the
having a
thing.
seizure. I thought she was having a seizure. I was scooping at her mouth.
All right, an odd story and an even more shocking confession. Partin admits to slapping Hannah after she allegedly squirted ketchup into a toilet.
How does this happen?
I slapped her upside the head.
With what?
My hand.
Open, closed?
Yeah, open.
And what caused that?
She took all of the, I don't know why she was in trouble. She took all the ketchup out and squirted it into the toilet while I wasn't looking.
That's frustrating.
And I'm like, Hannah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else had she done that day? Is this like a culmination of things building up?
She did.
What day was that?
Was it last week? This week?
This week, early this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't think that hurt her. I really.
It's not a fault. And you know what caused this. Just like you knew what caused this. Okay? So what caused this?
I smacked her on the chin for doing ketchup. That was the same thing. when I caught her doing the ketchup, you know, I took it away and I put her on the potty because I think she had to go pee anyway. And I said, Hannah, you can't do the ketchup. I just slapped her on the side of the head and went like that.
Close?
Yeah, like that.
How many times? Don't say once.
Yeah,
Is it because the bruise?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Does he give you permission to discipline?
Yeah.
I mean, spank and stuff? Okay.
I don't really spank. I don't even know where I was mad that
So
day.
these were closed fists, like uppercuts?
Yeah.
Okay. And this was an open-handed smack? Was it really open-handed?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, the bruises on the chest.
Honestly,
Listen.
no, I believe you.
Do you see the pattern here?
Yes.
Deny, deny, deny.
How about this big one down here?
I did not touch her chest. I'm definitely telling you the most positive truth. I did not touch her chest.
So look.
But I was mad that day.
Let us see.
Wow, a lot to digest right here. You heard the 911 call, and then you heard several clips from inside the interrogation room where you saw some different story themes emerging. I have a great panel here with me, Mike Korbanix, Bob Hilly. Thanks so much for joining me. All right, let's digest this, starting with you, Bob. What do you make of her stories as we kind of play them out here?
Three things in her statement. You hear slapping, shaking, and fall. Individually, they may not be a lot, but together, I think they're significant. The other issue is she talks about the seizure. Mm-hmm. The seizure, as the expert tied in with respect to the brain injury, really ties the injury in while it was in her care.
And so she's now saying, this other story emerges, that she believed that Hannah was having a seizure at the time. We didn't hear that storyline, Mike, before.
I'm not a big believer in admissions and confessions, as police are coercive, and most of the time when
Did you think those police officers were coercive?
Yes, I do. I do think all these things have to be placed in context. I would be, and I would cling on to, as I've said earlier, the 911 call.
She sounded desperate.
And she also sounded like she was saying things as they were happening. Here now, she's in a different situation. She's accused. And the interesting thing is, why don't the police say, why did you say this on the 911 call? Why did you say this? Why didn't you mention that? So they're sort of now putting her in this coercive context. And I don't think anything she says after the 911 is reliable.
Let's talk about the charges really quickly, Bob. She's facing murder, she's facing involuntary manslaughter, and then the 3 child endangerment charges. I think that probably the child endangerment charges are going to be given to the prosecution because obviously she admits to some of this, right? What about murder versus involuntary?
I think depending on the charge in Ohio for that, it's more likely that you get the manslaughter charge than the murder charge.
Because with the murder, Mike, you have to show that she intended to kill this child.
Yeah, there has to be a specific intent. That was her intent. It doesn't appear that there's anything even near that here. At best, you'll have reckless indifference to human life. At best, but I think that's a stretch.
Yeah, I don't think jurors are going to see that this woman came out with a mission to kill this child here. If anything, it was extreme negligence. But again, then she is admitting to hurting the child. A lot to discuss here. We're going to keep this panel right here. Coming up, the teen who committed the Parkland shooting appeared in court today. We'll tell you why. Plus, a Colorado man awaits his legal fate after he's accused of battering the mother of his child to death with a baseball bat and burning her body. That story after the break.
Tonight on Brian Ross Investigates, an interview with George Papadopoulos, the first target of the special counsel's Russia investigation. Sitting next to his wife Simona, he claims he never should have pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI and suggests his lawyers were to blame. Are you regretting now that you pleaded guilty to lying?
Look, I have new counsel for a reason. I've been very vocal that I believe my old counsel, and I included in my book, were actually possibly compromised during the time where they advised me to plead guilty.
And Papadopoulos says he now wants a pardon from President Trump. That's tonight on Brian Ross Investigates, coming up at 5:30.
On hold until Monday in a Florida courtroom where a man is accused of killing his daughter by throwing her off a bridge. Jonchuck is accused of murdering Phoebe Jonchuck by releasing her into the Tampa Bay. The question is whether the defendant is legally insane or whether he can be held criminally responsible. Prosecutors are trying him on charges of first-degree murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and aggravated fleeing and eluding officers. The jury will return after evidence and witness statement issues are sorted out over the weekend between the defense and prosecution. A man charged with his fiance's death faced a judge today. Patrick Frazee is charged with first-degree murder and tampering with a corpse in relation to the death of Kelsey Barrett, who went missing last Thanksgiving. Police say Frazee beat Barrett with a baseball bat and burned her body and leaving her. During a hearing today, Frazee's defense attorneys asked for more time to go through forensic testing. His arraignment will be held on May 24th. He is being held without bond. The Parkland school shooting suspect waived his right to attend pretrial hearing. Attorneys for Nicholas Cruz will speak on his behalf on any future court appearances related to the case. They argue that Cruz's courtroom presence draws media attention that could emotionally damage survivors of the shooting. Cruz is accused of committing the crime at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School last year. The trial is expected to begin in early 2020. Back to an Ohio courtroom where a babysitter is on trial for killing a child. Defendant Lindsay Partin tells detectives what happened when Hannah was dropped off at her home the morning she lost consciousness.
So, take us back to this morning when when Hannah gets your house.
Okay, we walked in the door like normal.
Through the front door, back door?
Where you guys came in and sat her down.
Was he carrying her?
Carries her in, has her blanket over her, because it's cold, obviously, right now. We sat her down.
In the garage or?
Yeah, just, she's standing there, and, they kissed goodbye, whatever. He said, back to get you, and she said, okay, bye. And I looked at her, I said, are you tired this morning, or do you want to stay up? She said, I want to stay up. I said, okay. So we walked in, she was in front of me. I opened the door, she was in front of me. That red chair that sits right there. I phone down, started to take off my robe. She looked at me like, can we do couch and donut? Because they always do that. They like the powdered donuts in the morning before we have breakfast. It's hit or miss that she decides to go back to bed or wants the couch sometimes she don't. So I said, of course, and she went to take off her jacket and just fell forward. And like I said, Hannah, get up. What are you doing? I thought maybe she tripped because I was putting my robe down. I wasn't necessarily looking at her, and she didn't get back up.
As interrogation continues, Partin repeatedly insists she had nothing to do with the child's death and is seemingly shocked to learn Hannah's injuries were life-threatening.
The doctor's down, he said Hannah's not doing good. Okay. Whatever happened to her happened this morning.
Oh my God.
It's not from the fall from yesterday. She has a severe brain bleeding.
Oh my God.
So what we need is the truth from you.
That is the truth.
We need to know how this happened. That way we can treat her.
I'm absolutely telling you the truth. Oh my God.
The way it's looking right now is that this happened at your house because we need to find out. We need the truth.
I swear to God, I'm telling you the exact truth. We walked in the house.
From what the doctor's saying, she did not walk, she did not talk with this type of injury. None of that is possible.
She did. I promise you, she did. We walked right in the house. Who's we? Me and her. Me and her. She walked in herself. Walked in herself.
They're saying that's not possible.
Oh my God. how she was acting was normal. Yes, I swear to God, I swear on my daughter's life, she walked into the house and nothing was abnormal whatsoever. Not one thing. Not one thing. Holy f***.
You need to help us help us.
I don't know what else to say.
A sheriff's deputy told the jury what Partin said about the timeline of events that morning and the alleged cause of Hannah's injuries.
Did you speak to the defendant, Ms. Partin, in this case?
Yes, I did.
And what did she say?
I asked her what happened. She stated that her father, Jason Weshy, responded over there. She stated that she often babysits Hannah. And Jason showed up that morning, and when he dropped her off, she walked through the garage. She walked up the steps into the house, said that she just passed out. She fell face forward into the carpeted floor.
So when you say she walked in, who are we talking about?
That when Hannah came in, that she had asked her for a donut and to sit on the couch, and that's when she said she just passed out, fell face forward into the carpeted floor. She stated that the day before, which would have been March 7th, approximately 4 p.m., that she was playing in the garage and she fell and hit her head on the concrete floor of the garage.
And when you say she fell and hit her head, are we talking about
That would have been
Hannah?
Hannah.
All right, joining back with my panel here, Bob and Mike. Okay, let's digest this a little bit more because we're hearing another interrogation tape, the first one. And Bob, she's giving a little bit of a different story than what she gave in the second one when she talked about the seizures.
Well, those are inconsistencies that the jury can take against her in their deliberations, or they can chalk it up to nervousness. As Michael said, and I agree with him, this was a very rigorous questioning by the police officers.
But that's two different stories here, right, Mike?
Well, they're two different stories, but they're in a position where she's getting, it's not like they're telling someone who's caring for the child out in the hallway or things like that. I mean, the jury's getting a sense of how coercive a police interrogation could be, and you have somebody talking to you and throwing out things, and you're just trying to answer because you just want to get out from under. Even if you didn't do anything, it's intimidating.
Really quickly, guilty on the top charge murder, Bob?
I don't think so.
How about you, Mike?
Not guilty.
All right, we'll see what happens. We're going to continue to very closely monitor this trial. Thank you to my panelists, my guests for being here, and thanks so much for watching the Daily Debrief tonight. Join us again on Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Law&Crime Network.